Good evening. Welcome to the Space Telescope Science Institute in Baltimore. I'm Don Savage, Public Affairs Officer for NASA's Office of Space Science. This evening, we're pleased to announce the start of a week-long campaign of observations of the impact of periodic comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 with Jupiter. The impact of the first fragment occurred earlier this afternoon at about 3:54, and scientists around the world participating in the NASA National Science Foundation observing campaign, as well as virtually every other telescope and observatory around the world, have been watching.
For the impact of Shoemaker-Levy 9, my team and I were set up in the Institute, Space Telescope Science Institute, and for the actual event of the first impact, we were down in the basement where they had computer screens where the technicians normally check the data to make sure everything's okay. Normally, astronomers are not allowed in there. They don't let people in, but this was a special event. So we were all crowded in there, waiting to see the first images. And when the first images came, it was pandemonium. I mean, it was like, what is this? Could this be a moon? Is this a real plume? What is it? Get an almanac. Check where Io is. Yeah,
because we had to reduce the other one a little bit.
That one looks pretty good, the fit.
And then when the first image of the impact site came up, we were like, holy smokes. There's video of me like pointing at the screen. Everyone around us is, oh.
Jennifer, yes. Look at this. Oh my God. Isn't that incredible? It's right in the methane. That's amazing. That's what we all said. And in the initial orbit, you can see.
At that time, there was a little tiny computer monitor up above the big screen showing Jupiter. And we could see the press conference that was happening one floor up in the auditorium. And Gene Shoemaker, Carolyn Shoemaker, and David Levy were sitting there, you know, not knowing that one floor beneath them, everything was happening. And so I said, we have to break in. And they say, this is a formal NASA press conference. You can't break in. I said, we're going up. That's the kind of person I was. So I said, get me a computer printout, like anything. It was like this thermal paper. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was like this black thermal paper. But you could see Jupiter, you could see the black spot on it. And I said, we're going up. And the TV crew was like, she's going up, she's going up. Because I have to show Gene and Carolyn and David this. It's their comet. It's not fair that they didn't know what was happening one floor below.
Concluded by Ashfog and Benz. And I think we may have some up-to-date information from Heidi Hamel.
I'd like to introduce Dr. Heidi Hamel.
Gene Shoemaker said he would be personally astonished if we saw nothing. Well, or if we didn't see something. Well, he's not going to be astonished. We actually saw some amazing things.
Oh, boy.
We just downloaded the first two orbits. In the first orbit, we were able to see a plume on the edge of the planet. In the second orbit, which I have a raw laser printer output, this is as raw as it gets, we can actually see the impact site itself. And I'll remind you, this is for A, the first one, not the brightest one. So we're going to have a really exciting week.
Why be dull and boring about it, right? Let's have some spectacle. Let's have fun with this. That was sort of my whole presentation style for the whole week, because we would have press conferences every day. And like, what are you seeing today? We're like, who knows? You know, it's going to be the big one hitting tomorrow. What is that going to do? Big black eye on Jupiter was my best guess. The impact of comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 into Jupiter back in 1994 was a game changer. To actually see an explosion taking place on the planet Jupiter with the Hubble Space Telescope and with other ground-based telescopes really changed our perception of how planet-changing some of these large impacts truly were. All of these places that we have visited with spacecraft, we are really limited in what we can do with our ground-based telescopes. But now, with Hubble and now the James Webb Space Telescope, we are getting new views of all of these places to supplement and complement the results we've gotten from these myriad missions to all these worlds.
And we have a fully deployed JWST observatory.
Future-proofing JWST was not a problem because what we set out to do was so ambitious that even over the quarter century it took to build this thing, we've never built anything to surpass it.
And then when those first images came out, I was like, wow, it's happening.